Hello and welcome to this week's podcast with me, Chris Warden.
Myself, Martin Willingham.
I've got some cracking stuff on the way for you today. We got Martin's going to tell us about his Portugal holiday.
Yes.
We're also going to talk about Lemsip capsules, the NES Classic making a return, Nights Out when everyone else is 12, the iPhone X launch. I've completely misread that for a second. Yeah. The Quail PC and his imminent ascension. The Sonic Mania, still good. Jackbox games, Splatoon 2, COD Blops and the Hacker Problem. GotG 2.
What does that mean?
I have no idea. You put it on the list.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Oh, okay. You could have told me.
Sorry.
Dr. Foster, Forza 6, Red Faction, Armageddon, Mega CD, Sonic CD and Road Avenger, Spy, Saturn, It. We're going to be talking about it. Console Wars as well. And we've also got some funny news stories for you. The fight of the century, as it happens, and some plastic pains. So how are you doing today, mate?
Not too bad. Not too bad. We've been away for a while.
We have been, yeah.
We had the PlayStation 2 special part 2 and then part 1 go out. So
that was down to me because my brain didn't work.
Yeah, we made a bit of a mess of that. But don't worry, both parts are up now.
Indeed they are.
On SoundCloud. YouTube was fine.
Yeah, YouTube was absolutely fine.
It was the SoundCloud that we managed to cock up. So sorry about that.
It's all good though, isn't it? Because this is the other thing as well. If you do go onto YouTube to listen to the podcast, then they're now all in the playlist. So you don't have to go looking for... And they're all in order as well.
Chris has done some housework, which is something that I'm terrible at. As you can tell, but because you can see the channel pre-Chris is a bit more of a mess than it is now. It was
only a little bit though, mate. It wasn't too much.
We didn't have a Facebook page. We didn't have an Instagram,
but now we do.
Hashtag Insta. Let me talk. I was away.
Yeah.
I went to Portugal.
Ooh.
Yes, I did a little road trip from Porto, which is sort of in the middle, down to Lisbon. Via a few places, and then I stopped in a little bit afterwards. So I'll tell you what I did. I went from Porto, a couple of days in Porto.
Okay.
Then a place called Coimbra, which is like a uni town.
Cool.
Didn't stay there very long. Posh hotel. And then went to a place called Nazaré, which is by the seaside.
Okay.
And I'll tell you about that in a bit. And then we went to a place called Sintra, which is like, you imagine Disney like castles.
Yeah.
These are like real Disney castles.
That's quite cool.
It's amazing. And then a couple of days in Lisbon. Then we had some time in a villa. Now the villa's not particularly interesting. I had a lovely time.
Yeah.
But I sat by a pool and did absolutely nothing in the middle of nowhere.
Which must have been absolutely lovely. I'd love to do that.
I had Wi-Fi, but it wasn't great. So
you had
my phone was just basically just off.
Was it just a useless piece of... Well, a useless brick.
No, it wasn't completely useless. I was watching stuff on it.
It was useless.
It was useless, like me. So I went to Porto, and I'd forgotten. I don't know if this has ever happened to you. You ever like had a drink, an alcoholic drink?
Aye.
Thought it was lovely.
I've had a few.
Yeah, well, I've had it. Thought it was lovely, and then forgot about it entirely.
Yes.
This is what happened with me in port wine.
Oh dear.
I wanna say in Porto, hence the name of the wine, port wine, it's actually done in the Douro Valley, which is like the big Douro River, which runs through Porto and stuff.
Which is quite funny because there's a maker of phone called Douro.
There is. Maybe it's related.
Maybe.
But they make all the grapes up in the Douro Valley, and we actually had a little drive up there. We had a car called Pedro, and it was a Fiat Punto.
Of course you would name your hire car
Pedro the Punto. Yes. He was a bit weedy, bless him. But I'll tell you, a Fiat Punto Evolution, not a bad little car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, I was on the wrong side of it, on the wrong side of the road, and I managed to cope okay, and Frankie did all right, but we can talk about that in a bit. So, I went and saw that. But they store all the wine in either the bottles or the casks in Porto. Actually, they don't store it in Porto. They store it in a sister city, which is called Gaia, I think.
Gaia.
And it's just over the river. So I went on a Taylor's Port tour. I was like, well, it's a tradition. Frankie and I always go on like a local booze tour.
Of course.
We've done the Guinness Brewery, the Heineken Brewery, all that sort of stuff. So
when you're at home, it's corner shops and pubs, isn't it?
That's it.
Exactly.
So I figured I may as well go to the place where this stuff is made. And I'd forgotten. Port wine's bloody amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I'd forgotten how good that stuff is. Now I want to bring it back. Okay? So everyone who listens to this, and I want you to do it as well, Chris.
Okay.
Next time you go into a pub, go, I'll have a port wine, please. I want to start a wave. I want to start port wine on a comeback, because cider went out of fashion for a while.
Yeah.
Ales went out of fashion for a while. I'm thinking port wine, which is normally the reserve of the sort of red-faced, quite posh gentleman who normally drinks it all day just to stabilise himself, if you know what I mean. So I want to bring it back because it's nice, it's sweet, which ticks my boxes. It's not too like... Red wine's a bit of a problem with me. It makes me have like acid reflux and all sorts of acid reflux. What acid? Quick! It makes me have acid reflux, but port wine doesn't do that.
Okay.
Even the white stuff's nice as well.
Oh, okay.
I actually got you a little bottle of Porto Cruz.
You did
I
indeed.
was sitting at the top of the Porto Cruz store.
Yeah.
We did 2 bottles of port between us and watched a purple sunset over the river.
That sounds
Douro.
very nice.
Very nice. Yeah, 2 bottles of port down and yeah. Got an Uber home. I figured,
of course, why not?
Lots of hills in Lisbon, by the way. I bought something before I went. I bought a little fan, a battery-powered fan.
How long did that last?
Oh, the whole trip.
Did it?
I charged it up.
Really?
I topped it up a couple of times because I was staying largely in hostels and stuff. And honestly, if you suffer from the heat and you go to a hot country, this can genuinely save your trip.
Well, to be fair,
It stops the dreaded sweat rings.
I suffer with the heat when I'm in England, so you know.
Maybe you should get one. It's like a tenner on Amazon.
To be fair, the fan that I have up in my room literally sits there, and if I'm in my room at all, then it's pretty much on all day. And even though I've had this horrendous changing of the seasons, cold or flu or whatever you want to call it, that's why it might sound a little icky today. And if you hear me cough, I do apologise because it does sound disgusting.
Oh, see, I'm in the room with him and he's just a blithering mess.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm joking,
but
you actually look okay.
Yeah,
like you know, you can tell someone's ill.
Yeah,
you do look unwell.
Yeah,
but you're coping.
Yeah, I'm coping. I'm dealing.
Yes,
but yeah, it's I've had that fan on entirely the entire time, even though I've been trying to sweat it out. I think it's been too hot for my head, so I've had to have the fan on my face.
Because you see, this is my problem, right?
Yeah.
The rest of my body doesn't get hot. Like, I don't get sweaty under the pits.
No.
I don't get, like... It's my head.
It's my face. Yeah.
My head and my face. I mean, bear in mind, I've got, like, quite longish hair at the minute, and I've got a beard. Probably didn't help. But, yeah, this fan, amazing. It is literally one of the best things I've ever bought in my entire life.
Ooh.
I think it's called the Easyac or something like that. Fan, and it was like 10 quid. Amazing. So, did Porto, then went to a place called Coimbra.
Okay.
Stayed in a posh hotel for a night. That's it there. Nothing really happened there.
No.
But it was a uni town. We got to drive around it, and my God, Google Maps, you need to sort it out. Some of those roads aren't really
roads.
I'm glad we had, say, a Fiat Punto and not, say, a Ford Focus, because a Ford Focus wouldn't have fit in the holes that we got that Punto through. Yeah.
Oh dear.
It was Frankie's first time driving. She actually stalled it on a hill. It was a ramp going out of the car park.
Yeah.
She stalled it on the ramp. And she's on the wrong side of the car, so I had to get around and hill start this blooming thing on this like 1 in 3 bloody incline. Nightmare. But don't worry, Frankie's calamities get better. So we then go to a place called Nazaré. Now, Nazaré is a beautiful seaside, like, if you imagine in your head... Oh, loads of other stuff in Porto, by the way. There's lots of other stuff to look at. It's not just that, like, you've got... all the hills and stuff. There's a lot of hills and there's a lot of walking. Do the walking tour, it's free. Porto's a beautiful city, and it was like, hadn't been invaded. It's got a really interesting history, so go to Porto. Anyway, Nazaré, if you imagine like a seaside town in a foreign country with its beautiful beach and it's got all this, it's that.
Okay.
It is what you think it is. Had a lovely fish meal. Fish is a big thing in Portugal, and I don't really like fish, but white fish, so I had some cod and it was very nice. Anyway, it comes from Norway, it turns out. Anyway, this is not the freshest fish I've ever had in my life. So, Frankie then, the day we get there, goes for a shower and ends up, and I'm not joking, flooding this hostel, right?
Oh, you're kidding.
She gets in the shower, and the door hasn't shut properly. Now, I don't think it's her fault. I won't name the hostel, but they're a very good hostel. There's no problem with them. Yeah. And they dealt with it. I will give them a name drop. They're called Lab Hostel. Okay. It used to be a science laboratory, and they've turned it into a hostel. Very cool. But she accidentally flooded it. So there was water actually coming out the ceiling on the ground floor. She had no idea. I had no idea. I was sat in the corner like watching something or listening to something on my phone. I've been listening to an audio book slowly. So I was away, freely, and I didn't see any of this. And I look around and there's this puddle on the floor where she's flooded this hostel.
Dear.
The guy was remarkably all right about it. He wasn't initially, but he come round. But before that happened, we went to a little water park.
Okay.
In Nazaré, where Frankie. Well, it was more like a Lido, right? It's more like a Lido, but it was nice. It had some big slides. It was right. It was fun. I took the GoPro down there.
Cool.
And it was really good fun. She cut her finger open. I can show you, but it was like a slash, like along the tip of her finger.
Oh, okay.
And nasty. So there's blood pouring out of her hand, and the nurse was just like. Luckily, I had some good banter going with the nurse. I was like, "Will she live?" Like today, I think so. But yeah, so she was absolutely clamming. That was our 3.
That's quite.
Nothing bad happened to me this
incredible.
entire time. I must point out,
and that's even more incredible. To be honest with you,
we go from Nazaré to Sintra.
Yeah,
and in Sintra, if you imagine like Disney fairy tale, beautiful castles, like. There was someone who went there and was, I actually overheard, I want to get married here.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful. Big hills. Glad we had a car. I ended up walking 600 metres. And that's not 600 metres horizontally. That's 600 metres vertically.
Jeez.
So I actually went 600 metres. I didn't have the fan. So then I had the rings, which is why I know that the fan saved my trip. So, yeah, amazing place. Amazing place.
Yeah.
I can't describe it. Google it. Look at pictures. Go. It's cheap to go to Portugal. Go. Then we went from there, not that far away, to Lisbon. Lisbon's very cool.
Yeah.
I won't spoil anything for Lisbon, but I would just say, if you're going to do Portugal, I would say do Porto, do Sintra, do Lisbon. And there's nothing wrong with Portugal at the minute. The flights were cheap. We did hostels, and I'm not joking, I didn't stay in a bad one.
That's good.
I did not stay in a bad hostel. Then obviously we had our villa, which was wicked.
Yeah.
And the guy who owned the villa, a guy called Pedro, and the same name as the Punto, he was so cool.
Yeah?
He was so cool. Yeah.
It's nice when you get that when you go away on holiday, though, isn't it?
He was such a nice chap. Speaking to him about music and stuff as well.
Oh, cool.
Really nice guy. And basically, I just wanted to recap you on my holiday and say it was bloody brilliant. Go to Portugal if you haven't been already. And when I say go to Portugal, I used to be one of those guys who used to go all-inclusive, right?
Yeah.
And there is nothing wrong with an all-inclusive holiday. Don't get me wrong. If someone said to me, you've got a week to go relax, I'd go, right, all-inclusive, I'm going to go to Turkey, which I know very well.
Yeah.
So I'm not missing anything. But I'd say if you're going to do a country that's new and you want to explore. Okay,
for sure.
Don't be frightened to go to hostels, to actually travel around the place, drive. I think that's the best way to see a country. Anyway, we're literally 13 minutes later, and I've told you pretty much everything
that's good.
I think it's reasonable to tell you about my holiday.
Well, do you know what? That's the thing, because obviously we talked about your trip, and at the other end of this segment, we also got a bit about something I plan on doing.
Oh, yeah.
I've also just seen in the brackets where it says, let's make port great again, which has just tickled me a little bit.
Yes, we can make port wine good again.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We can bring back port wine.
I hope so.
Yes.
But moving on.
Also, quick plug.
No, oh, yep, go on.
I'm on the radio this weekend. If you're listening to this when it goes out on Thursday.
Oh, okay.
You want to come?
Depends on, 1, whether I'm working, 2, whether I'm still dying.
I'll be on Saturday morning.
Okay.
8 to 10, Mile FM 97.5 and online.
Cool.
Just wanted to plug it because I've just had a message from someone going, can you do radio this week? Because I can't do it. And I'm just like, yeah, I actually can.
Yes, I actually can do it.
Right. Yes.
Moving on.
You, we know you're not very well.
Yes, indeed. And do you know what?
Most people harp on about how they're not feeling very well. You've actually done brilliantly. I came in and I went, how are you? And you went, man.
Yeah.
You didn't look well, but to be fair, you haven't whinged about it.
No.
But you're clearly not well.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think...
But I'm a bit dubious about being about a metre away from you.
Exactly, which is why whenever I cough, I cough anywhere other than your direction. But to be honest with you, there's no point moaning about it. I mean, I have been ill to the point where standing up when I'm woken up and stuff has been a very, very big issue, and my balance has been horrendous. I've not been able to see properly, and all the rest of it. But my saving grace, I think, because of another medication that I'm on, I've now finished that course of medication. I wish. It would be lovely if it was gin. But I've now finished that course of medication, so I am able now to have cold remedies. Because obviously it says, you're not allowed to take anything else with this, just so you know. So obviously the first day that I was
that for
feeling, oh yes, 100% crusty as hell, mate. I was like, my mum went out to the shop for me this morning, bless her, because she's an absolute trooper, is my mum.
Your mum is lovely.
I love my mum.
When you finished, I'm going to tell a great story about your mum.
Oh.
Okay. It's not
okay.
That sounded but worse than it is. I'm going to tell a great story about your mum.
Well, this is the thing. She went out and got some Lemsip, and I've never been more thankful. But the thing is because I'm a massive wetbag when it comes to drinking these kind of things, or like spooned medicine and things like that.
Yeah.
I'm a massive soggy salad. So when my mum comes back, she's brought me the Lemsip all-in-one max strength cold and flu tablets.
The proper stuff.
And do you know what? It has knocked me for 6. It really has. And obviously these things aren't meant to make you drowsy.
No.
Some of them do, unintentionally.
They're meant to just make you like normal.
Yeah.
Or get you vaguely back in the realm of normal.
But I think because I've been so unwell, and I think it's been a while coming now since I've been this unwell.
Yeah.
Which is why I think it's hit me so hard. That and the fact that I haven't had my asthma checked in over a year. So that's probably something I should do.
Yeah.
But because of that, it's knocked me for 6. And I've been sat here going, I've been sat in my room going, and I've ended up just watching films and stuff and watching YouTube and all the rest of it and just doing different things just to kind of keep my mind going, because otherwise I will fall asleep.
Right.
And because of the way my sleep pattern is anyway and how bad I am at sleeping, I would come in last out of 29 people if there was a sleeping Olympics. That's how bad I am at it. If I fall asleep in the middle of the day, I will not sleep at all in the evening. At all.
Right.
So these things have been really, they've been really helpful. They've kind of reduced the symptoms to a point. But good God, without them, I think I would still be at the arse end of feeling awful.
What do you think it is? It's just a bad cold?
I think, do you know what? The thing is, obviously, because anyone who knows me knows that my mum's a childminder.
Yes.
And unfortunately, one of her little ones...
So a revolving door of sickness.
Oh, sometimes, yeah. Her littlest one, who is adorable, I love her to bits, at the end of last week was very, very unwell. Bless her. She had it was a really nasty cold. They took her to the doctors and everything over the weekend. It was just a cold. Obviously, we all know
it can really hammer kids.
Oh yeah, little ones and colds, never great. But at work as well, everyone has been suffering with some form of illness, whether it's been a chest infection, whether it's been a cold, whether it's the flu, all these different things. And because I work with a lot of chemicals, and I was doing fairly long hours, I like to think anyway. I think it all came and hit me all at once, and it literally dumped me as hard as it could on my head, because it's been a very, very long time since I was actually this ill. Yeah. I'm just very thankful I'm in my own home being this ill. Because if I was anywhere else, say if I was still at uni, I would really be struggling. Yeah. Really struggling.
I mean, I get it when I'm sick, and the nature of my job means that if you're sick, there's a good chance that they just can't cover you.
Yeah.
And you kind of, obviously legally you don't, but you have to go in.
Yeah.
So I've been in before, and I was really sick one day, and they said, listen, it was a night, it's like a late shift. They were like, listen, man, we can't get you covered between 11 p.m. and 4 a.m. So can you come in and just do that bit? And I said, well, if that's what you can do, that's what you can do. Because I didn't want to mess up my colleagues.
Yeah, of course.
The next day, I rang up and I said, never again. I'm not coming in today. Do one. And just slammed the phone down. I was like, no, I'm not doing it. It just breaks you. Being anywhere other than like in bed.
When you're that ill. Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. And this is the thing. This is the kind of the big thing, actually. And the point I'm going to make, I suppose, is while obviously I understand everyone needs money, so ergo they need a job a lot of the time, the main issue that I seem to think that everyone forgets is the fact that, yes, you do need these things. However, without your health, what do you have? And it's something my mum.
Absolutely true.
It's something that me and my mum have always said, and I will continue to say until I am dead. But fact of the matter is if you don't have your health, if you're as ill as I feel and possibly look, then what good are you going to be to anyone? Because honestly, the last 2 days, I've barely been able to look after myself, let alone do anything for anyone else.
Right. Yeah, no, I know how you feel, man.
So it's one of those things, and I will happily turn around and say this to absolutely anyone. If you're ill, or you're feeling drained, or you're too exhausted to function properly, please, for the love of God, look after yourselves, because you won't be any good to anyone if you do yourself more harm.
Yeah.
Because these things do hit you, and they do knock you for six. Remember that you're only human, you're not a machine, and you can't continue just to keep going and going and going, because it's going to hit you even harder in the long run.
I learned that.
Yep,
the very
exactly.
hard way. I was doing like 9 days in a row, 12-hour shifts, and it just broke me.
Exactly. So
That's
it's
why I
not
don't do
worth
it
it
anymore. I'm not that mental anymore.
Precisely. But do you know what? We're going to move on to a slightly happier topic
Can
now.
I just talk about the story with your mum?
Yeah, if you want. Yeah.
So we were doing. I worked for a station. It was a student radio station, and we wanted to shoot an advert to go in the TV project that we were also doing for my show. So,
I know which story this is as well.
We took a camera out, and it was like me in my dressing gown, and like
it was my dressing gown, wasn't it?
It was your dressing gown.
Yeah, it was my dressing gown.
Me in a dressing gown, like coming out and going around and meeting up with Charlotte, who was my co-presenter. So we were still outside your house, this house we're in now, because my house at the time wasn't really an appropriate setting. No. We didn't feel like it was an appropriate setting to shoot this bit. So I come out of this house in my dressing gown with a bowl of cereal going, and now you can listen to me every weekday morning from whatever time to whatever time. And we did a couple of takes of this.
Yeah.
And your mum found a Thomas the Tank Engine, like a Barbie lunchbox, something like that.
One of them.
Comes out the door as I'm doing this take and goes, "Dear, you forgot your lunchbox." And I just go, "Mum." And that is the take that they used.
Yes.
So that flash, your mum is very funny. Is she here?
Yeah, my mum's here.
If she's overheard that, her head's she won't be able to get out the door.
Well, this is the thing. My mum's always said that she's an aspiring actress herself. So I now know where I get it from.
That's what I just wanted to say. Just because that was very funny.
No, it is a good memory, to be fair. Good memory. But on, again, a slightly lighter note than me.
What's going on with your laptop? Is that one of those? Is that one of those tabs that you had in the background, incognito?
100%.
Yeah.
In fact, that was actually the IGN website, and it's playing a video. However,
their website's terrible.
Do you know what's great? It's the fact that segues us lovely. I didn't have to do that time. It segues us lovely into our next topic, which is the NES Classic returning to stores.
Yes.
And SNES Classic stock increased.
So, what happened was the NES Classic, I actually saw one today, and I'll talk about it in a second. The NES Classic was released just around Christmas time last year, because the Wii U was, done, basically, and the Switch wasn't quite there yet. So, in order for Nintendo to get a little bit of a boost, they put out the NES Classic. That's all it was supposed to do. Some people say that Nintendo knew damn well the demand. Some people say Nintendo had no idea about the demand. That's not important. But they didn't make enough of these things. I saw one in CEX today. £145. The original retail price is £50.
Well, bearing in mind, I mean, look at, pre-owned like Xbox Ones and PlayStation 4s. They're currently standing in CEX at £175.
Yeah.
In a lot of places, depending on the condition.
You pick up an Xbox 360 for like £40, and they're asking for £175 for an NES Classic. I also saw a Sega Saturn in there as well today, and a Dreamcast. Their prices are a bit off.
Shonky, aren't they?
Like £55 for a Saturn sounds about right these days, but
still,
I can't imagine many people doing that. I managed to get it when it was cheap. It sounds like there's only like 1 million Saturns across Europe, so actually kind of hard to get hold of.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, they are going to, when the SNES Classic comes out, they've made more NES Classics, and they're going to be releasing them in the summer of 2018.
Cool.
We will link to the IGN article. It's just to say, basically, if you want one of these things, grab it, pre-order it or whatever, because I'll be honest, like
They're going to go
scalpers.
fast.
Scalpers are going to just get them and sell them at extortionately high prices.
They're going to go fast.
And if you want one, don't do it. Like, just do it, right? If you plan on scalping, you're part of the problem. Now, don't get me wrong, I understand. If you buy a product for 50 quid and you can get 150 quid for it, it makes sense to do that, right? Yeah. But in the same breath, you're also pushing up prices for everybody.
You're making things more difficult.
You're making it out of reach, man. Because I wanted one of those NES Classics. If I'd have seen that same one in CX for 50 quid,
yeah,
I'd have probably gone for it.
Fair.
But 145, that's because CX know they can get that for it. And that's because people scalp them. They like to buy them and then sell them. It happened with Amiibo as well. Yeah. Luckily, that
phase is done now.
But yes, so Chris, have you? Sorry, it sounds like you were going to say something.
Yeah, no. All I was going to say was if you are one of these people that do want one, though, as we've said, get one fast because they are like Sonic. They're going to go fast.
Anyway, did you go out on a night out recently?
I did. Yes, indeed, I did. That was a lovely segue. Well done.
Yeah.
I did. Yes. Swagway. And do you know what the worst bit was?
Yeah.
Is I felt like I was the oldest tosspot there. If I'm perfectly honest.
Did you go in and they offered you a chair?
Yeah. That's not even a lie. That actually happened.
Wow.
Because basically we started off at a chain pub, as I usually do on nights out and stuff. Meeting up.
Reese Witherspoons?
Oh yes, indeed.
Right. Yeah.
And we were. Do you know what? I just met up with a couple of old college friends because I hadn't seen one of them for almost a year, maybe 2 years.
Right, yeah.
Or a year and a half, something like that. And the others I'd seen round and about here and there, but it was mainly for me to see my other friend.
Right.
And so we started off, and I started off as like fashion as the night would go on, and I had a picture of Godfather.
Right,
which, if you don't know what that is Disaronno and Jack Daniel's whiskey.
Sounds like a nightmare.
with Coke, and it's lovely. I had a whole picture of that to myself, which was lovely.
Good.
I then had a glass of white wine.
Nice, classy.
Which was good. And then we all went, do you know what? Okay, let's migrate to the bar next door because it seems like it's happening in there. Went in, and it was our kind of crowd, actually. Like, good music, was a good laugh, actually.
Was this in the town that's closest to me?
Yes, indeed it is.
Yep.
And we just kind of went in and was like, okay, this is cool. I like this. They're playing some banging tunes, as a lot of places do, hopefully, as long as the DJ's worth their weight. And I was sat there, I was like, fancy another drink. And on tap, I was very, very, very happy because they had on tap Hop House 13.
It's a nice lager.
Which is something that I love very, very much. So I had a pint of that.
It's the lager by Guinness, basically.
Indeed, it is.
Very nice.
And then that is when it happened. And again, anyone who knows me knows that I'm not a massive club goer. And I never have been.
Me neither.
I never will be. But this is the thing. I was at the point where I was like, yeah, do you know what? Why not? I could do with a dance. So, me and my cohorts wound our way down to the local club, got into line. I looked around and I went, oh my God, I might as well be 50. Because everyone else there looked like they were about 12. And it was horrendous because I was sat there going, have I now reached the point where I'm so old, or in my mind I'm so old, that going into a club, I'm now just seeing people that are far too young, and I'm thinking you shouldn't be there. You should be at home in bed. Just you shouldn't be here, and it's really bad because I don't know whether it was just the night we went out on or what, but it did feel like there weren't very many people out my age or my friend's age or anything like that, and we felt. Do you know what? At the one point, I felt very, very secluded, because I thought, blimey, when did everyone else start looking so young? Because I felt like I was old.
Right. I mean, I get that as well. I'm a little bit older than you.
Yeah.
And I get it
by
too.
a couple of years.
And for me, nightclubs are a bit ruined anyway.
Oh, yeah.
But I genuinely the last time I went to one, I just walked in and I was like, initially I was like, yeah, it's coming back to me now. I remember this. Because, I used to work in them. So
yeah.
Like, this is normal. This is like, what you expect. After that, though, I just realised that, not in terms of like age,
yeah,
but I'm just too old for that.
Okay.
In terms of maturity, in terms of just being who I am.
Yeah.
It's not for me.
I feel it.
Not for me anymore.
Well, do you know what, mate? This is the thing. I think, for me, I've still got a couple more years left. However, it's got to be in a place where I don't feel like I'm old enough to be someone's dad. And bearing in mind, I'm only 23. Excuse me. So yeah, that was essentially my night out.
Right.
And it was good. It was nice because I got to have a catch up and everything, and I really enjoyed myself. Had a few drinks. It wasn't so much that I was stumbling all over the place, making a fool of myself. But at the same time, it was, I just found, I thought, do you know what? Next time I'll look for somewhere a little bit more my style. Moving on though, the iPhone X launch.
So,
tell us more, because you're the Apple bod here.
Yeah, we will keep this brief for a few reasons, but the main reason being is that we're not going to cover it as well as others will. Okay,
True.
But we like phones, we like technology, but I would say there's been a bit of a change in me over the last few years. I care less about what a phone can do, more about just how it works. If it works, that's what I care about. Does it have what I want it to have, and does it work the way I want it to work? I've come to a sad realization that as much as I like the latest wave of Android phones, I can't really do it. The reason is because my car doesn't work with them properly.
True.
So I plug in my music, I can control the stuff on the steering wheel, and that's fine, but it doesn't really work with Android. So the iPhone X has been launched. It's going to cost near $1,000.
Do you know what? I'm looking at this thing, and you know me, I've never been a massive Apple fan as it is.
Yeah.
And this is pushing me further and further in the opposite direction from making them trying to bring me in and go, hey, look at this, boom. Because all of this now is just making me go, nah, I'm all right.
Yeah, the iPhone X is going to be about $1,000, they reckon. And the iPhone 8 is out as well. And the 8 Plus. And the 8 Plus is going to be $799, which is going to be, that's basically £799, isn't it?
Yeah.
It will be my next phone, but here's the thing, I just don't really care anymore.
No.
Like, the iPhone X, for instance, looks very, very nice.
It looks...
don't get me wrong, it looks like a really nice device.
I'm looking at it, and do you know the one thing that's popped into my head?
Yeah.
It looks very, very Android-y.
Well, the phones, they just copy each other, don't they?
Well, they are now, yeah.
They just copy each other the whole time. iPhone... Whilst Android was around, iPhone was the proper touchscreen smartphone.
Yeah.
Then Android's come along, and this is the Android handsets that are out at the minute are just amazing.
Aren't they? The new Samsung.
The S8, oh my goodness, that just looks so nice. And you had a Huawei P9 for a bit?
P10. Indeed I did.
Nice handset.
Lovely handset.
I like the look of the Pixel. I like the look of all this sort of stuff. But I just wanted to cap over the basics. The iPhone 8 is going to come in 64 gig and 256. It's going to be starting at $699, which is going to be £699 basically. The Plus is going to start at 64 and again 256. And that's probably going to be a bit more, £100 more, we reckon. They'll be available to pre-order from September the 15th and will be on stores in September the 22nd. iOS 11 will be available to download on September the 19th. I just find that I'm not as excited about Apple stuff as I was. I mean, we'll kind of leave it there because we're not great at, dealing with phone stuff. And as I said, there are better people to do that with.
Yeah, to do that job.
Yeah,
I mean, we're not reporters. But
it's interesting nonetheless.
Yes,
and I'll end up getting inevitably one of them. Probably the 8.
Yeah,
because that'll be the upgrade path for me. I'm sad about the lack of a headphone jack still.
Oh yeah,
I don't own a pair of Bluetooth headphones.
No, nor do I.
There's no reason for that. I just don't.
I just don't own one.
I've got crashing into the keyboard here. Dropping my tablet. I've got a wonderful pair of Bose quiet comfort headphones. Okay, they're not the latest model, but I got them for Christmas. They're around the £250 mark. These are not cheap headphones. They're wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
Airplanes, especially. My trip to Portugal, amazing. Didn't hear a thing. I had a
Beautiful.
lovely flight with EasyJet, and then on the way back with Monarch. And if you've ever flown on those two, you'll know it's not always possible to have a nice, easy, quiet flight.
Yeah.
But I did. And it's all down to those headphones, but they're not Bluetooth. They're got a headphone jack. So, I'm certainly not going to upgrade those.
No.
Right, until they die.
Well, do you know what? This is the thing. Talking of phones, just real quick.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, obviously, the Huawei P10 was my last phone.
Nice handset.
Very nice handset. And the thing is obviously, you've talked about the iOS update coming out. We're also talking about Android. Just a kind of a filler point for anyone who's kind of going, I'm not sure which phone to get. From my point of view, if you are to get a handset, but you're not sure which style of programming you'd want, whether you want an Android, whether you want an iOS, whatever. Huawei have done something very clever, and I've told you about this before, and I can't remember if I've spoken about it recently, but basically you put your SIM card in and everything, you start the phone up, and it gives you the option to whether you want a iOS interface or an Android
style interface, yeah.
No, iOS interface. It's huge, mate. Like the phone itself has both.
Right. Well, it's an Android.
phone.
It's kind of an Android skin that goes over.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
But it works. So if you're used to how an iPhone looks and how an iPhone feels and the layout of everything, but you don't want to have an iPhone, it would kind of be handy, I suppose.
Transitional.
I've always been an Android person myself anyway.
You have?
So I always picked Android anyway, and it's just the phone itself looked beautiful. Very happy with that. I was very happy with that phone.
For me, can you imagine my joy? I had a BlackBerry Curve 2550 or something. Everyone had one.
Oh yeah,
everybody had one, right?
I didn't.
Most people had one, right?
I had a Sony Ericsson.
Yeah, a lot of people had those too.
Flip phones.
But loads of people had a BlackBerry, and it came time to move on. And can you imagine the leap from that to iPhone 4?
That would have been so strange.
Been an iPhone 4S. Wow, back in the day,
that would have been strange.
Back in the day, that was an impressive handset. That was the top of the line. For a long time, iPhones were the top of the line. The bee's knees. The dog's knees, the bee's bollocks, they were the best.
All them, yeah.
Doesn't seem so much anymore. Anyway, the Quail PC. Now,
indeed,
this does involve me, tragically.
It does, yeah.
But yeah, Quail PC.
The Quail PC, for those of you who have listened in and listened to the podcast before, Martin very kindly last Christmas built
Christmas?
me.
The
Christmas gone, all right? Built me a custom PC, and because the current PC I own actually isn't upgradable, and it's very, very difficult to use, especially if it starts running out of space and things like that.
Yeah,
and there's nothing I can do about it. So he built me this one, and for ages now I've been saying, I want to upgrade it, I want to do this to it, I want to do that to it.
I just want to clarify, I built it with fairly basic specs.
Yeah.
The idea was I'd give you a base to start off, and you'd work from there.
Exactly.
That's exactly what it was. It
Gave
had
me
like
a launch pad.
Had like an AMD Sempron processor in it, nothing special, and it had like 4 gig of RAM.
Yeah, it had memory, it had all that stuff. It just worked, didn't
and it had a
really?
really basic graphics card, so you could use dual monitors if you wanted to. That was the idea.
Which is just how it kind of rolls. But for ages I've been saying, I want to be able to do this when I've got some money. I want to be able to do that, this, and that. The time has finally come where that is now possible, and I asked Martin yesterday whether or not or what pieces I should get, and because now that I'm working and I'm actually I've saved up a little bit from last paycheck as well.
Yeah.
I'm actually able, with a little bit of excess, to pay for this thing, and I'm so happy about it, especially with the imminent arrival of a few games actually that I want to play.
Yeah.
But currently don't have the opportunity to, as well as our old favourite here on Curious Crow, Overwatch. I'm very excited to be able to play that.
Yeah. Just as a disclaimer, this PC won't run anything at ultra.
I'm not needing anything on ultra.
If it's a brand new game that's graphically demanding, you'll probably have to scale it back a bit.
Probably.
But I'll tell you what.
I'm fine with that.
You're getting an AMD A8 5600K. I know a lot of people are going to go, "Well, that's really old generation." Yes, it is, but it's also cost effective and a good option if you're on a budget.
Which at the moment I am.
And you're also getting an AMD Radeon HD 7770.
Yeah.
2 gig card from 2013, I think.
To be honest with you, as long as it works, I'm really not fussed, because the problem that I have currently is the fact that I am kind of stuck a little bit in the past with my Xbox 360, because that's all I've got. I've not been able to afford anything else up until this point. So just being able to play some games and stuff that actually aren't, from years and years gone by, and I'm only just getting them now because, they're free on Xbox Live or what have you, I'm actually able to get them. So it's lovely. And it'll be good. Which was the game that I was looking at the other day? The game I looked at, and we've spoken about before.
Yeah.
We Happy Few.
Which is giving full retail price, which was about 3 weeks ago now?
Yep, yeah, about 3 weeks. And do you know what? I am so excited for it. I am so excited for it.
Yeah.
Because I follow them on Facebook. I follow the company on Facebook who are developing it. And the amount of stuff you see from it, looks so good. It looks so pretty. Weird as hell, but pretty.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, essentially, the Quail PC is getting an imminent ascension boost.
So what are you going to give them? New motherboard?
New motherboard, another stick of RAM.
That's basically all you need to do.
Yeah, pretty much.
Power supply probably in the future. Hard drive or SSD probably in the future.
It's on my list at the moment. 1 second.
The motherboard is probably the most important thing.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's what.
That is the bit
I'm
you
doing.
need to get urgently, because I'm fed up of having a graphics card and a CPU hanging around.
Oh
my
yeah,
cupboard.
I know. Well, to be fair, mate, it'll by the end of the month will be sweet. But do you know what? Moving on from that, just briefly, because obviously I'm aware of time.
Yeah, we haven't got long.
Exactly.
We had 20 minutes left on the program.
Obviously, at the beginning of the program, Martin spoke about his holiday to Portugal.
Yeah.
I've made a decision this weekend, just gone. Basically, my other half, T-Dog, she is currently over in Canada, doing me very, very proud. She's working really, really hard. I'm uber proud of her. And it's quite nice having this base for people to hear me say this, because I think everyone else is sick about hearing about it, to be honest with you. But I am immeasurably proud of that girl. She makes my life. She really does. But obviously, she's out there for 6 months in Vancouver. Now,
I feel you, dog.
I am. Oh, I know you do. Because that was your situation last summer.
Frankie was away travelling around New Zealand, Asia, Australia, a bit of India. She was away for about 7 months.
Well, this is the thing. It's about.
So I feel you.
It's 6 months of training, 7 months to live out there, I think. But this being said, I made the decision this weekend that I am saving up and I am working. So do you know what? Do you know what I haven't done in such a long time? Gone somewhere.
Road
done
trip.
Something. So do you know what? I've started looking at tickets and everything, because I'm going out to Canada.
When?
Hopefully February in the new year. Because looked at flights and everything, because my birthday's in January. And I thought, you know what? I'll treat myself. I'll give myself a birthday present. Sorry, 1 second.
That's all right. Do you know what, dude? We should. I don't know if you're up for it. I'd be up for a bro trip. I'd go to Canada.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just got to scrounge the money. Right. Just to interrupt for a second. You can have a bit more of a cough if you want. While I do.
Nah, it's all right. I'm all good now.
Yesterday, I was sat in my pants,
Standard,
in front of the computer, and I was checking my emails, and I got an email through from Ryanair.
Oh really?
And I looked at the email from Ryanair.
Okay.
And saw flights to Belfast.
All right.
For like 20 quid.
Mate.
So it turns out I'm going to Belfast in February.
Oh, are you?
Because I just saw these flights and went, yeah, all right.
Why not?
And then booked the car parking at Gatwick. Yeah, we're going to Belfast. Why not?
Why not? Mate.
Yeah.
Have a giggle.
And yeah.
Well,
I was about to say something else, but I can't talk about it.
No,
so
don't do it. But this
you know what I was going to
yes,
say.
Yes, I do know what you were going to say. But this is the thing, mate. I mean, because even if it was a bro trip, it's fine. However, I will be out there to see the missus as
That's
well.
all right. I'll just go off and fanny around in Canada.
Exactly. It'd be great.
Bloody Vancouver. I mean, amazing. Yeah, so that's really cool.
Sorry.
That's all right.
I feel like I've Scratchy throat. That's unpleasant. Anyway, moving on, because that is my plan. I'm trying to get travel insurance and everything sorted, visas, all the rest of it. So yeah, it's going to be cool.
I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll each go in turn and just whip through the stuff we've done this week, because we've got like 15 minutes left. Sonic Mania. Played a little bit on holiday. Oh my god, still so good. I'm stuck on oil plant zone. I'm stuck on that last boss is a bastard. Splatoon 2, played a little bit of that today when I got pissed off with Sonic Mania.
Standard.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2, still on its cellophane. I was supposed to have watched it by now. Frankie and I were going to watch it earlier today. Didn't happen. Forza 6, I played that when I got annoyed with Splatoon 2 because I was losing at that as well. I dragged out the Mega CD for no reason. I had a copy of Road Avenger that I hadn't played, so I popped that in. FMV game, and it's an FMV game.
Okay.
And I played a bit of Sonic CD because why not? Saturn. I got the Saturn out as well because I really craved some Sega Rally. So I played Sega Rally. And I've been listening to 2 audiobooks. I've been talking about this. Console Wars, which I finished. Really good. They're turning it into a movie.
That's cool.
It's a story about Sega's rise and then part of its fall. And Service Games, which is about the entire history of Sega. Hence why when I got back, I had an appetite to play the Mega CD and the Sega CD.
Fair.
So the Sega CD, the Mega CD, and the Saturn. Sega CD is what it's called in the US. We're not American. It's the Mega CD.
Indeed it is.
Now, you've got to do the same. Whip through your choices about a minute.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. Jackbox Games. Something we played round yours the other night. Great fun. Good party games. Saturday night. Yep. Great fun. Really funny. Use your tablets and phones and stuff.
Brilliant.
Just whatever you do, be as horrendous as you can, because that's the funnier the answers are, the more likely I am to vote for you.
If they're on sale, grab them.
Do it. It's well worth it. Call of Duty Black Ops 2 I've played a lot of recently, and there is a massive hacker problem on there at the moment.
On the online?
Online, yes, on multiplayer. Do you know why? Because everyone has decided that they're going to speed everyone up so that everyone's running around. So if you're playing on Hijacked, which is one of the missions on the boat, you'll be from one end of the ship to the other in about 3 seconds flat, which is really, really disorientating, and people have been hacking just loads of stuff, and it's horrible.
Right.
So they could do with sorting that out. Dr. Foster.
I don't care.
No, I know they don't. Dr. Foster. Haven't watched the first season, but I started watching the second season with my parents. I love that program.
BBC One, right?
Yeah. The character development on it is phenomenal. If you're an actor, give it a watch. Red Faction, Armageddon.
Old THQ game.
Yes, brilliant.
It was cheap
THQ.
back in the day. I remember buying it.
Do you know what? And it's still good. It's still pretty, and I still like it on the Xbox 360. Phenomenal game. Spy. I watched it last night because I was feeling very poorly.
Perfect Spy.
Yeah, I watched it, and I loved it. I fell in love with it. I think, is it Melissa McCarthy?
Yes.
Amazing film.
I don't find her terribly funny, and that's nothing against her. I think she's great. I just don't find her particularly funny. That's probably my fault.
Well, no, mate. It depends. It honestly just depends. Sometimes you find things funny, sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
For me, it was the other actors in it. Like, I love
Jason Statham's in it.
Jason Statham. He is so funny in that. He's brilliant. And I've not seen the new one yet, which is obviously out in cinemas now, I believe.
Yeah.
However, I personally am not impressed, because I like the old style, because I have a bit of a man crush on Tim Curry.
Tim Curry.
Because he is top man. And do you know what? I think it's just, for me, it just looks like the Americanization of every horror film, where it has to be big and it has to look scary for it to actually be scary. But this is my problem. This is the only thing I'm going to drag out a little bit.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is, fact of the matter, the original, like, for instance, one of the houses that the kids or something found, or that it kind of centered around, looked like an everyday normal house.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, and that's what was terrifying.
That's what was scary.
Yeah, in the new one, it looks terrifying. It looks like some place that any normal person would avoid, and it's just, I don't know. It feels like Hollywood's taken a bit of a shit on it.
You
if I'm
know,
honest.
it was Hitchcock, and he was the master of suspense.
Oh, of course he was.
It's a bit of theory wank, so bear with me. What made Psycho so scary back in the day is it was what you didn't see.
Yeah.
What was normal but uncanny. There was something... So I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah. Well,
does it Tim Curry that Nigel Thornberry?
yeah, indeed he did.
Nigel Thornberry.
Well, do you know what? That's the thing, because obviously my hat goes off to Tim Curry, because he actually did an interview at a con, I believe, about the new It, and he's very supportive of it. So my hat goes off to him. Fair enough, but he will always be Pennywise for me.
Is he well?
No, unfortunately not. I can't remember when it was. It might have been 2015 or round about then. Unfortunately, Mr. Curry had a stroke.
Yeah, I know
he's now
not...
currently in a wheelchair. However, his sense of humour and things have definitely not left him. He was in the TV reboot, remake series of Rocky Horror Picture Show, where they redid it all, and he played the criminologist, which is the bloke who is basically the narrator for it. And do you know what? For all of it, he still did a good job. And do you know what? I just think, for me, Tim Curry is a man who is going to be a very, very hard act to follow for anyone. So good luck to anyone who tries it, basically, because I think he's, for me, an unsung hero.
Good guy, very talented. Very talented. Anyway,
let's move on to
10 minutes. So
we'll move on to the news of the week.
I'll let you do these. I don't know what you've
mate.
put. It's all magic to me and mystery.
All magic.
And he's lost his microphone, kids. The Today Show has been all over the shop, and we're really sorry about that.
Do you know what? I think it's just because we're not so much all over the shop. We're just a little out of practice and ill and stuff.
Yeah, I forgot my headphones today.
Well, yeah. Well, these
I'm
things
doing
happen,
it
mate.
deaf, effectively.
Well, do you know what, mate? It's all good. But we're going to talk about the fight of the century.
McGregor?
No.
Oh.
And it's surprisingly, McGregor versus Mayweather. No. Merriweather. No.
Mayweather kicked his
ass. No. This is an even more. This is an even more prestigious fight.
Go on.
Because a woman pushes a girl into a fountain in a drunk fight over cigarettes.
Nice. That's the kind of classy stuff you see around here where we live.
Yes. The moment a drunken brawl led to a teenage girl being pushed in a churchyard pond has been captured on film.
Beautiful.
Student Danius Nekavarius, I think that is. Sorry for the pronunciation.
Butcher.
Who filmed the fracas, said it started when a drunk woman asked two teenagers for a cigarette but was refused. The picturesque church in Wibbeck, Cambridgeshire. See, I can't even read properly today. Then descended into a fighting pit as dozens of teens and some people who appeared to be older get involved in the violent dispute. As at one point a woman clasping a can of beer gets out of her mobility scooter and pushes a teenage girl into the pond before the girl emerges from the water to drag her attacker to the ground. The woman manages to keep her beer from spilling throughout the fray, which...
Do you know what?
Obviously, I don't condone violence in any way, shape or form, but that's funny.
This fight sounds like it could have done with, the music from Star Trek.
Yeah,
it sounds like it could have done with that.
100. Do you know what? That's given me an idea. Anyway, but that's a discussion for another time. But that story made me giggle. I saw it and I thought, do you know what? England. Oh, hello, Father.
Hello, Faja.
How are you?
So yeah, are you going to add that music? Is that?
I think I might add that music. You're right, Dad.
Yep, I'm fine. Thank you very much.
Good.
This is the best.
Coming through to
Parkinson would have been delighted with that,
wouldn't he?
Yeah, that'd have been the best. Such a broadcast professional.
Phenomenal.
Anyway, sounds great, doesn't it? I would love to have been there.
Yeah, I would have liked to
hated
have seen
to
that.
And loved to. Like maybe be the Invisible Man, passive mode. I'd like a passive mode, please.
The Invisible Man by Queen, great song.
It is a great song.
Sorry, you just said it and I just remembered it. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to move on to the next story now. And this one...
Oh, yeah?
Will hopefully make you laugh.
Okay.
Plastic surgery, what do you make of it?
If you want to do it, that's fine.
Okay. Well, one plastic surgery addict was left with a permanent erection after a nose job.
What?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. A man addicted to plastic surgery has been left with a permanent and painful erection after a nose job. Nevin Sigovic was left with I can't say that word at all. An unwanted, long-lasting and painful erection that is not accompanied by sexual desire. The 45-year-old Croatian said, I was in Iran with rhinoplasty for the documentary film that British Channel 4 is filming covering my life. We did not record the surgery, but the only only consultation session with the doctor. They gave me a general anaesthesia and I reacted badly to it. According to Nevin, it was during the surgery that he was diagnosed with priapism.
Permanent stiffy.
Yeah, pretty much. He recovered in hospital in Serbian capital Belgrade, but says he was refused. That's the one. But says he was refused painkillers despite being in agony. And I can't imagine that being very pleasant. I remember reading a similar story not too long ago about a man who rode a motorbike, and the motorbike, he tried to sue the makers because, again, it gave him a lasting erection.
Permanent hard-on. My goodness. Ouch. That's all I have to say to that one.
Yeah, that sounds rather uncomfortable.
Broken. Oh.
100%.
Oh, dear. Anyway, that's a hard thing to end on. Anyway.
That was terrible.
Yes, it was.
Don't ever do it again.
Sorry, that should be a bit more sympathetic to the situation at hand. I'm
Actually,
sorry.
do you know what? Sorry, because that joke just then, it reminded me that I don't know how your dad is with it, but mine, who's currently in the kitchen making a cup of tea.
Yeah.
He has a habit of telling us awful jokes.
Okay.
And some of them are phenomenal.
Well, they're phenomenally bad, so they're actually good.
They're phenomenally good dad jokes, but they're still dad jokes all the same. So I was thinking...
Right.
With that being said, if he'd be willing to come and tell us his joke of the day...
Oh. Have you already got one planned?
I don't think he has, but I think he told us one at dinner time tonight.
Whilst you're convincing your dad to do that as well, it's your turn, my friend.
It is my turn.
Come up with an episode title that won't get us banned from YouTube. Okay. So, yeah, are you ready? Have you got a joke? Or are you just... He's raiding the archives.
Come on, Dad.
Okay. This better be good. This is what we're going to end the episode on. You had to talk into the microphone. That's the.
We laugh so much, this joke.
Okay. Good. It's that good, is it?
Yeah. I read a new book today. Welsh Jokes by Die Laughing.
Richard Borden's joke of the week.
Oh, that is awful.
That is awful, isn't it? But it's also
bad.
very good.
He does it whilst unpacking a baby bell. That's cheese, by the way, in case you didn't know what that was. There's a pack of like Edam. That's just undoing a... There you go. There's the rustle of the... bit of Foley as well. He's getting professional in here.
He's having a baby bell.
Anyway.
Everyone loves a baby. I've come up with a name.
Go on.
The Guardians of the Galaxy and Dr. Foster go on their Holibobs.
The Guardians of the Galaxy, we didn't talk about it.
No, yeah, well, we didn't talk about it. However, you did bring it up. It was mentioned.
It was in the running order.
Exactly. So
okay, so Guardians of the Galaxy and Dr. Foster go on their Holibobs. Can you please write that down on the running order?
Yes, of course I will, dear boy.
Anyway, that's pretty much it from us this week. If you want to listen to all the episodes, they're now all available on YouTube and on SoundCloud and via the Apple Podcast app for your iPhone, your iPad. We're looking to put the podcast RSS feed on other devices. So if you have your preferred podcast listening app and you'd like us to be on it, and it's easy to do so, leave us a comment and let us know. You can like this video, you can subscribe for more and press the little bell icon, which will keep you up to date with when the episodes are published. So please do that. If you listen on the iPhone, the Apple Podcast app, subscribe it.
100%.
Fresh episode every week. We haven't missed one yet.
We haven't, no. We're very good.
There's time. We must put one in the can in case we're
going to have to at some point, yeah.
Tonight nearly didn't happen.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, Chris. You've been a trooper considering your
no worries,
your
mate.
illnesses.
Yeah, no worries.
So yeah, that is it from us this week.
Yes.
We will see you next time. Goodbye.
Take it easy. Bye.